She is a showbiz legend, rising to fame at the age of 14. Wow. With a hit solo single. She's been working ever since as a singer, performer, entertainer, actress, author. There is no end to Marie Osmond's talents.
There she is, the most talented, multi-talented human being on planet Earth. Good morning, Marie Osmond.
Well, that's an intro, Piers. How are you, my friend?
It's lovely to see. Last time I saw you, actually, was in Vegas, on stage at the Flamingo.
It was. We were at the...
yeah,
that's
you were
right, on the stage.
with your brother Donny. And what I loved is I've got two brothers and a sister. Your relationship with Donny that day, and ever since, from what I've seen, there's a striking resemblance to that of me with my siblings. In that it's kind of a lot of love and affection and a lot of irritation.
It's a sibling relationship, and yeah. We've talked about it before. There's really, there's Michael and Janet, who we knew as children. But they didn't perform together, do television and albums and all those things like we have. And the only people close were the Carpenters. And I told Donny he could learn a lot from Richard because Richard never spoke.
It's a bit my relationship with Susanna. She does all the talking, and I just sit here nodding like a...
Yeah,
get him, Susanna.
Even Marie knows the truth. This began, didn't it, as a 6-week booking.
We kept getting all these wonderful awards like Best Show and Best Band and Best Dancers and Choreography and singers and things like that. And we got to 10, and do you know the movie Spinal Tap?
Yeah, of course. Great movie.
Okay, so I looked at Donny and I said, let's go to 11 because it's one more. And so we started laughing, and that's why it's 11.
I love it. I love it. And it must sometimes feel like Spinal Tap, doesn't it?
Because it's one more.
Marie, I want to ask you, because we were talking earlier with Reverend Al Sharpton about gun crime in America. So Vegas had an utterly appalling mass shooting.
Those are the kinds of things that are very difficult for people to overcome. I don't think you ever really do. It took her almost a year to be able to come down to the Flamingo on the Strip to do things for me there. We just did them at the house for about a year.
Amazing. I mean,
yeah.
We have a lot of problem in this country right now with knife crime, knife violence. America obviously has an ongoing problem with gun violence. Do you worry as a performer when you're in front of, thousands of people every night? Do you worry when there's such easy access to firearms about your own security after an incident like that?
I don't. I think that you can get so crazy worrying about those kinds of things, Piers. They're very careful and they're very cautious. And, I do these big stadium shows with some other entertainers that I do throughout the year. They're very cautious. And, we have 20,000 people when we do these shows. And, unfortunately, that's one of those incidences that, they just had some more today, and it's not just the United States, it's Canada, it's England, it's everywhere. And so, unfortunately, it's kind of an interesting world we're living in right now, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's slightly amplified by social media, actually, which makes it look like there's all this stuff going on. In fact, statistically, it's the healthiest and safest time to ever be alive. So I think sometimes we forget the bigger picture.
That's true, and I think a lot of times we like to put out all the negative and we forget the positive. And there's a lot of good in the world too, and I think that it's a nice thing to remember. I have 8 children, and so I try to not raise them in fear. I try to raise them in hope and to be positive, because it's a beautiful world we live in. A lot of good things in the world.
Well, here's a positive thing. You look absolutely fabulous, and I hope you don't mind me saying that. 8 children, amazing career. I'm not going to ask you how old you are, because that would be ungentlemanly, but you look amazing.
I'm 29.
Of course. What is the secret to eternal youth, Marie Osmond?
I have a portrait up in my attic. No. Do you know, I believe it's happiness. Maybe it's silly, but I choose the positive. Life's been difficult. I have been through some tough things, but still have a lot of people. And I don't think you're ever going to move forward if you keep sitting in the past. And that's one of the things I've written books on, and I've recorded albums about, and I've spoken about. I do public speaking. And I wish I could spend more time over there. I
You
would
know what,
love
Marie?
that.
I was going to say we've got unfortunately to end the interview, but we would love next time you're here, please come on Good Morning Britain and let's
I
have a
would love
longer
that.
chat because we love having you on our show. But thank you very much for joining
You are
us.
so sweet.
Marie Osmond,
Well,
thanks
you're very
very much indeed.